you can win a Batmobile prize package consisting of a hoodie, a signed DVD, a sew-on patch, and a bottle opener.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the 10-year anniversary of Schorem Haarsnijder and Barbier. It is hard to believe, but we have been around for... It's exactly 10 years ago that we opened our doors and did our first haircut. And it's even more unbelievable that we are still around. Thank you for watching. We are here with the world-famous Batmobile. Now, to all the people out there that are in lockdown like us, this is a little hard under the belt. Is that even?
That's perfect.
Eh? So, it's been quite a crazy 2 years, and we were planning to celebrate our decade of decadence in a very big way, but we're not allowed to do it, so we definitely wanted to give you something, and that's why we organized this little ScumBash 4.2. We all got our mouth masks and everything, you know, we got our six feet. And we hope to celebrate with 3 great bands. We're gonna do a couple of questions. We cannot thank you enough for watching, because it's hard to explain, because even this morning I was kind of nervous going to the Baroeg in Rotterdam, where we are right now, because it was so long ago that we actually saw a live band, and especially Batmobile, because not only are we huge fans, of course, but I literally remember when we did our ScumBash, our first ScumBash, we organized a rock and roll festival, and that was something so out of our league. And can you imagine that when you've been a fan of rock and roll for ages, you went to gigs and blah, blah. The idea of just like picking bands and inviting them to play at your festival, that was like a boy's dream came true. And I remember that Batmobile was, you know, it's Batmobile. So when we asked them the first time and they said yes, they were the first name on our first poster, and they became our house band. So being here after such a long time, and that they said yes to play for you guys to celebrate 10 years of mayhem. Thank you so much, guys. Unbelievable.
It's our pleasure.
Yeah, so it's super weird, right? I mean, you guys haven't played for what?
Exactly for 1 year now. 1 year ago we did, like this weekend in February, we did a show in Bristol in England, and that was it. Then we all went down in lockdown, so it's been like...
Well, you could hear that with rehearsals. So.
Yeah. And we don't rehearse, so we haven't seen each other for almost a year.
You actually didn't see each other for over a year?
Well, we did a few sessions for...
A few recordings?
For new songs. We have more friends than you guys, you wouldn't believe it, but we have a few more friends. And they asked us to help...
What, 4?
And they asked us to help for another celebration for our friends in Hamburg. So we did a few songs to record for them. But no, this set list that we're going to play here tonight, haven't played it for a year.
I was a little scared because, you know, I had no idea. And the idea of, I mean, if somebody told me 10 years ago, and I mean, I've been listening to psychobilly for a very long time. You guys are, for everybody that knows the band, they are legendary. It's as simple as that. It's not bragging when it's the truth. There is not a psychobilly in the world that has not heard of the Batmobile. I mean, even when we were in Japan, I'll never forget this, that there was this guy on the streets playing a guitar wearing a Batmobile t-shirt, which was awesome because we're Dutch, we're in Japan.
We're friends.
It's weird, man. It's come on, you know. We have such a small a country, and to be in Japan and see that was like, those are goosebumps. You know, we work hard for that shit, but it worked out. So when we came here, if you told me 10 years ago that you would play at ScumBash, I would be like, ugh. But if you would have told me 10 years ago that we would see Batmobile with just the 3 of us.
In a private setting.
In a private, this is, I mean, can you imagine seeing one of your favorite...
And with a happy ending.
Yeah, well, we've been talking about your favorite color, purple. I don't want to go
Don't give it all away now.
No, I don't want to go too deep into the. I mean, you know, we have some behind the scenes later on that you can see on Twitch TV/Baroeg. Everything is on Twitch.tv at Baroeg. Well, we didn't forget. That's our set list. But but I was kind of nervous because for you guys, this must be the weirdest thing to be in front of us.
We never did a private concert, never.
No.
So
First time.
Really honored, right?
Yeah, you know, with our
You
music.
deserve it.
can you imagine that it's even a little weird to be the only one in the crowd? I mean, that
Yeah.
puts a lot of pressure on you.
Yeah.
I can imagine that a lot of pressure is here, but
Shout, piggies,
yeah,
shout!
I mean, we well, we talked about this earlier. You were like, finally, I got a target to spit on.
Yeah.
So, so that's gonna be fun. So when okay, has the interview started?
No.
One of my big. Oh, you want to say something
I
about?
want to say something as well. First.
Oh, before we go to the, you know, that's why I bring Lane. That's why you bring Johnny. There is a business part to it.
Well, hello. First of all, you might see these three beautiful men are groomed very well. We did not do that because they think that we are not good enough. They did it themselves. So before we get any emails about, hey, they had a haircut, we did not do that. They really did it themselves.
Home barbers.
Home barbers. Okay, so a party is nothing without presents. So if you go to our website, there will be some presents. Just look for them and order them because we need it. Also, after this, there will be a raffle from the Batmobile guys. But Johnny or Jeroen is going to talk about that as well. So for me, it's enjoy it. And now we're going to do a little interview, right?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. So I prepared pretty much nothing.
As always.
As always.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, no, but we improvise, man, and that's what happens. You know, a lot of people ask us, how did you do it? Because we've been friends for so long. But if there is one thing that I saw today, you guys have been together for what, 40 years, right?
Almost,
30
yeah.
years, 35?
37?
37 years.
30.
Started at 2 years old?
No, but it's crazy. A lot of people ask us, how did you stay together and do it? But what I saw today, and I love that, is that when there is the solder. When Johnny, thank you. Johnny went behind the drums. Yeah, I got a bit of a speech problem here. Sorry about that. Behind the drums, and he had to check his vocals. Jeroen was like, oh, okay, 35 years, here we go.
Same song
And,
again.
and it was the same song, and you know.
I only know one. There's only one song I know the lyrics of, so that's the song I use for the sound check.
So you don't even know the songs from Batmobile?
No, I know the songs, but not the lyrics.
No, but
Even when I've written them myself, there are a few songs I wrote the lyrics for. I don't even know them by heart.
But the funny thing is, when you are together with, as long as we are, you have a certain routine where you go through. So when Johnny does Leven de man die het bier uitvond, the sound check started. Just like we always have the same intro music. When Here Comes the Batmobile plays, the adrenaline flows, and we make ourselves ready for 1.5 hours full speed, you know. So it's always the same routine that we go through.
Stop.
So it's always the fucking same that we do. But
The singer, he doesn't know how to handle a
No.
microphone. That's why we're not world famous.
So it's good. It's good that he always does the same song, because that's like feeling like coming home, and you try to get your place on the stage. And so I always, during sound check, I'm always walking around a bit to scan the place and to get a little homey feeling, you know. And that song is a part of it.
It's so funny to hear this because when we do a show and we have, well, we don't have an extensive
He
sound
has a
check.
speech problem too.
Well, no, but
Rubs off.
it rubs off. Rubs off. We also have a routine because we always, when we do it, do like "Love is in the air." So it's really cool to hear.
It's funny. We got our jokes when we do hair shows, but there is nothing that Lane loves more when I do one of the jokes that work everywhere in the world, and then you're in Japan or something, and I make the joke. No, it's horrible. You got to see it in the hair show.
Tell it.
But
we
no,
wanna know. We want.
no, it's terrible jokes about jerking off and blah blah. Blah. I really, I
We
mean,
don't
you
wanna
know, it's the sensitive soul of Jeroen here.
Let
I
it
cannot.
go.
I cannot. I mean,
Let
you
it
know.
go, let it go.
Jeroen from Batmobile. Let it go.
Let it go.
No, but
Frozen inspired.
But it's crazy, right? Because you guys started 37 years ago. That was like the first wave of psychobilly. Have you always considered yourself a psychobilly band from day one? Because how was the scene in Rotterdam? Because I'm kind of jealous because you guys were there. And now when I hear the stories of all these older guys, it was a super hardcore punk, rockabilly, psychobilly scene here in Rotterdam, right?
Yeah, and there were fights between different scenes, you know. The Teddy Boys from Eindhoven, they went over to come to Rotterdam to fight at the psychobilly festival we were playing. So there was always animosity between Teds, psychobillies and punks. So that was a different time. Because these days people get together and the rocking rebels from Rotterdam, from Eindhoven, are good friends of us, and it all blends together. But back in the days, it was really knuckles against knuckles, you know? Yeah.
Dude, it's hard to imagine because when I was and when I moved to Rotterdam about 25 years ago or something, because I come from the north, Groningen. That's where I discovered a little bit of rockabilly, and then I went here and I went to the Vlerk and the Baroeg. But I remember, man, with the skinheads and everything, I had a mohawk, so I didn't fit in with, and then, man, I got beaten up all the time, you know?
Tell the story. When you first arrived in Rotterdam with the bus driver.
This is actually a joke that everybody knows. It's a very common joke, but this is the I went to Rotterdam for the first time. I entered the bus, and the bus driver, I came from Groningen. I was like a farm boy, right? So I go into the tram or the bus, and the guy goes like, "What age are you?" And I go like, I'm like, "I'm 16." And he went like, and I go like, "Why?" He was like, 16 years ago, I fucked a peacock. You might be you, you might be my son. And but that is like your Rotterdam humor right there, right? Because he said it with a big grin, and I was fucking shitting my pants, man. I was like, what does this guy want from me, you know? But that was the day I moved to Rotterdam, and I never looked back. For me, that is what Rotterdam is all about.
You still see the peacock?
Yeah.
I wish it still had hair, man. I had a certain point. I literally had a mohawk with 2 holes in it, and I was like, okay, let's take it off. So, but you guys always considered yourself a psychobilly band still, or are you? Because for me, you know, rock and roll. When I see you guys, I'm like, fuck yeah, rock and roll. It's like everything.
You know, from back in the days, I'm a rock and roll fan. I love Elvis, and my only goal in life was I want to be Elvis. So I never wanted to be a psychobilly band or rockabilly band. I just want to be Elvis. So I never considered us a psychobilly band. I think we are a rock and roll band or a rockabilly band or whatever. But we fit in the scene that we fit in. So we really fit in well in psychobilly, although we are not per se, for me, a psychobilly band. Because the psychobilly audience likes loud and hard thumping rock and roll, and that's what we do. For me, anyway.
Yeah, I think we're a rockabilly band. We started as a rockabilly band, and when we started to write our own material, we fitted in the scene that was starting to come in England with bands like Frenzy, Restless, the Sharks, the Deltas, the Meteors. So that's probably why people call us psychobilly. And well, we have nothing against it when people call us a psychobilly band, but we think we're a rock and roll or rockabilly band, but our own way.
Yeah. I find it super interesting because especially in those days, it was so important to have a stamp because
Yeah.
they wanted to know who to
Yeah.
beat up, right?
Yeah,
So were you guys beaten up or were you the...
It was sometimes a bit
upbeaters?
scary here with the Teddy Boys in Rotterdam.
Yeah, because that was
Yeah.
that was huge, right?
Hey, but they have
Well, I wa-
Eric. Did you see those shoes?
No, actually. Back from the days.
The funny thing is, for me, I love Teddy Boy music. So for me, it was completely natural to be friends with a Teddy Boy and to play for rockabilly or psychobilly people. So
We liked the Teddy Boys, but they didn't like us.
No, they were. I mean, I'm like, you guys are a little bit older.
These guys were quite heavy. They even stabbed their friends with a knife.
Yeah, right. I mean, you know, I because we love our haircuts, right? You've been clients of the shop. I mean, we. But you know, I learned a lot from books, and you were actually there. I know some of the old Teds, but they got way more relaxed, right? I now just
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. So when did you saw that switch? Because I remember seeing you guys play at Speedfest. That was the first time that you got back together after quite a while, right? Did you stop for like?
That was not the first time, I think, but
in 2000 we had a break, and we
You had a break, right?
Yeah, we didn't play for like 3 years, and then there was a big German festival that we played again in 2003, and it was like a sort of a comeback, but we did only one show that year, and that felt so good that we knew we had to do some more shows because we missed playing live and we missed the interaction with the audience. That's the weird thing of this setting, you know. We don't have an audience, which normally is the fuel of our show. Audience is the energy that we thrive on. So that's what we need to perform really good. So we felt that in 2003 on that German festival, and we missed that, and we knew we had to be back out there. So in 2004 we started again. Our first comeback show was in the Melkweg in Amsterdam, I think. That was in Valentine Day in 2004. Rocking Valentine was that. And we haven't stopped since. And it feels so good to be on stage. It's like a drug, you know. You need it to keep sane, to keep your head straight, and to function normally, you know.
Hey, we were talking about this earlier because, you know, Lane and me were supposed last year to go on a world and a half tour. And then from one day to another,
there was nothing.
There was nothing. How did you guys handle that? Because you call it a drug. Well, you know, I got off the drugs 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I really miss them. So, yeah, well, what? It's an honest interview, right? I mean, I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm a way better person. My advice is don't do it. Just say maybe. But I do miss them, yeah. So, what? I'm the only one, like, with a glass of just like straight cola and everything. But the thing is, what you said is, because I don't want to talk too much about the COVID thing, right? But it affects us all. And again, thank you so much for being here. I had no idea that I missed music. So when you did the sound check, I mean, when you started drumming, I had goosebumps. And I know it sounds a
lot
bit
of
like,
people have that when I drum.
Okay, the interview is over. Everything is on twitch.tv, Baroeg.
Well, I saw it in their eyes as well. Like, when they played their first notes, they were like, fuck, I missed this.
Yeah, it's not
it's-
normal. It's not normal for us not to play. You know, it's not natural. It's such a big part of your life. And some people run like 50 miles a week, and some people go to football or what the fuck ever. But music is such an important thing in my life. It keeps me sane, but it also sometimes it gives you a boost in your self-confidence, and people love you and people adore you. So, well, it's a little bit narcissistic maybe, but I personally need that a little bit, you know? Not every day, but just a little bit.
Wait. Man, I know that was my question, because you can decide when you feel that the band is like, I mean, I can, even with Lane and me, we were traveling a little bit too much, but from one day to another, nothing. It physically hurts
Exactly.
me,
Exactly.
I actually woke up a couple of times
That's
the
good.
first month.
That's good.
No, but thinking like, oh
I know
fuck,
some
I
people
need.
who didn't.
No, but I woke up in the middle of the night thinking like, oh, I'm gonna miss an airplane.
Oh yeah.
Because we were used to like being in an airplane 3 times a week, and all of a sudden we haven't been in an airplane for like more than a year, and it's like really strange.
But remember this, we are brothers, we are best friends, The 3 of us are best friends. And all of a sudden you don't see... But when you suddenly are not allowed to see your best friends, it's fucking idiot, it's idiotic, And at a certain point, Rotterdam was like code black, and people from Rotterdam couldn't travel at all. So we had some things planned together to do a little music, and Johnny called me, I can't come. It's... it's...
What was the problem?
Johnny.
Wake up. We didn't wake up.
Okay.
No, but
Okay, the interview is
Okay.
over.
no, but it really
You understand?
it's something, It's also a little bit of to everybody that is watching that is in lockdown. Whatever you do, it hurts. It hurts, but I do somehow believe that. I mean, I only saw the sound check. They are about to play, and I can't wait to see it. But I appreciated the moment, because it is a bit of a poison to stay home and get used to it. And this day, I got out of the house. And honestly, to be with you guys, to be with everybody here at the Baroeg, to get out of the house, hear music, we need it. And I think that everybody... Yeah, but I think everybody's going to appreciate... I mean, when you go back, you said, like, when I get back in front of an audience again...
I will cry.
You're going to cry, right?
I'm sure I will cry.
Yeah.
The first time when we be there and there are a few hundred people there, I'm sure of it.
I can only imagine, man. So that is, I think, our message that, okay, it sucks. It sucks fucking hard. But people, whether you play music or you do haircuts, everybody that owns bars or whatever, man, I just really want to say that as hard as it is right now, I think if we go back to better times, people are going to appreciate whatever craft you're doing.
Exactly.
So much more. And that is the message that we got today, right? So
It's going to be a big party when we can all do what we want to do again.
yeah.
I'm sure. It's like, of course, I'm old, but I didn't live back in the day when the Second World War was over and Holland was liberated. It was like a huge party. I expect something like that.
Yeah.
A huge party when all this shit is over and we can play again. We can go to bands. We can go to bars. We can... And we can do things that I can't say on the internet.
Something like today is just for all you people out there, keep it up. Keep up the strength. There will be better times. And we fucking will party till it's 1999, would Prince say.
Now, we are already planning to do ScumBash 5 in 2022.
Where's the contract?
Of course, these guys will be there, and I don't hope, but I do hope that will be their first show, because then we can all see Jeroen cry. Who wants to see that? So what do you think? We're going to fucking rock and roll?
We're gonna rock and roll, man. Yeah. You want to say something about the raffle?
Yeah, there will be a lottery. At the end of our show, there will be a small advertising film.
Here?
No, we'll be, about there. If you send an email to the lottery at batmobilewebshop.com, you can win a prize package
Drum set.
Batmobile stuff. Yeah, the drum set of the Baroeg.
Of the Baroeg. Dirty underpants from the drummer.
But you can also win prizes from Schorems.
Those are even better.
No, those are not better. But if you go to the website, you can win a lot of stuff. Listen, if something goes wrong tonight with the feed that you are getting, go to... ja, dat moet je naar mij toe. Twitch.tv/Baroeg.
How do you spell Baroeg?
B-A-R-O-E-G.
We have a B. We have an A.
We have O. We have O. We have E. And we have a
G.
spot.
I am so sorry for the rest of these guys. I know I was awesome. Guys, thank you so much for being here, for playing for us, for celebrating 10 years. We're going to go for another 10 years.
Thank you, man.
Rock and roll, man. Thank you. Have fun.
Stay tuned, because at the end of the Batmobile performance, you can win a Batmobile prize package consisting of a hoodie, a signed DVD, a sew-on patch, and a bottle opener.